Point of this is about choosing your boat. And the reason, it's not often I do a video like this, but the reason I do, I've been speaking to quite a lot of you lately. I spoke to a lovely couple this morning from America. I won't mention your names for privacy, unless you want to. Let me know in the comments below. But otherwise, it's about the views and what you're looking for a boat, because I won't myself particularly turn around to anybody and say, yeah, absolutely, you should go out and buy this boat. Or I know other YouTubers will, other influencers will, but I won't. It's not my job to, okay? That sounds really bad, but it's buying a boat is a personal choice. And speaking with this couple this morning, I realised that our ideas of what we want out of a boat are similar and very, very in line. So I'll give you the choice. So you imagine financially you are in a position to, on your short list, okay, have a Halberg Rassi 50, a Allure 51.9, Garcia 52, or just to throw in the mix, say an ML 50. So we've got another GRP boat there. And I'm going to throw it in the mix because we'll be going and seeing it in a couple of weeks and hopefully test sailing it towards the end of the spring. The new SAILBOAT 49 or 490. I know we could put in Boreal and loads of others, but this is the choice. I want to keep it short, slightly smaller, and Mr. like me, I mean, they both want to go off adventurising. So picture it as yourselves, you know, in a few years' time, you're going to retire. You've got your nest egg. You're happy to cash in your chips, so to speak, and go off adventurising. Now, like myself, I want to go to Alaska. I want to do the Northwest Passage. I'd like to experience all that, and obviously for Abigail and Sarah to experience it and see polar bears and whales and icebergs and, you know, the big ice fields and so on. So that's one part of it. And I would also like to go to the southern hemisphere, like this particular gentleman, and sail around Patagonia and Argentina and, you know, experience all that. And they're not, you could do it in 6 months, you know, but it's more about cruising. You're retired, you're experiencing it, so you're taking your time. And I'm not saying the Halberg Rassi or the ML isn't capable of doing this sort of sailing, because they are. But being GRP and being the way that they're made, you have to choose your weather windows a lot more clearly, a lot more carefully, and just be a little bit more careful on how you're going to sail. And even with the 2 aluminium choices, or the 3 aluminium choices, you know, you could still get yourself into trouble, but they are going to be stronger and they're built more for the job. So that's the picture. That's where we're all going. And then speaking to Mrs. subscriber, and I just want to say thank you very much for the chat this morning on the phone. It was brilliant. It's lovely getting to know you, and you know, you've got our number, so you know, always message whenever you want. She wants things slightly different. She's happier with the trade winds and warmer climates and gentler anchorages and so on. She still wants to explore, like a lot of people, doesn't want to be like hardcore sailing all the time, which I totally get. So this is where we start getting into that. Every boat's a compromise, and you know, on the choice of your boat, how you're going to do it, because even though, you know, your marriage may have been solid for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, whatever, you know, you have different ideas of what you're going to do sailing and what you expect out of the boat. We understand and appreciate that 80 to 90% of your time is actually going to be at anchor, on a mooring ball, or in a marina, whatever. You know, most of your time is relaxing time, just bay hopping and so on. But you have those big passages, you have those big adventures you want to plan. And that's what got me thinking. So I really want an adventure boat. I want an aluminium boat that is going to look after us and take care of us, bangs, dinks and so on. You know, we've owned a few Land Rovers, so I want a Land Rover. I want a Land Rover of the sea, something that I can get into the systems and repair. Nothing too overcomplicated, nothing too electronical, or, you know, all these great new gadgets for 2025 and so on. Forget all that. Okay, it's when it comes, when the hits the fan, you just want stuff to work. It's as simple as that. So for me, if you guys don't know what a Land Rover is, here's a picture. So for me, I want a Land Rover of the sea. Now, Sarah, like this lady and a lot of other ladies, she wants a Mercedes G-Class, Rolls Royce, you know, whatever the equivalent of a luxury car is in America. I've got no idea, but whatever it is, that comfortable, soft suspension SUV, get you there nicely. That's what she wants. So that's, you know, if you're into, you know, Amel or Halbergrassi or Hilux, or I know I could name 100 different boats, but this is where we are. These are the boats of the selection. So that's it. And then you say, okay, all right, but the Land Rover's the best, and, you know, and we got to figure it out, and what if we hit ice, and what if we hit coral bommies, and so on and so forth. On the grand scheme of things, I've got my fingers like this, if you're cruising, you have a plan for, say, 5 to 10 years. Okay, everyone says 3 to 5, but if you're going to go around the world, it's going to take longer if you're going to do it properly. You say 5 to 10 years. You have, try and get my other hand on the screen here. So you have this is your cruising time. It's the only thing I would really sort of say to people. The hard bit of adventurizing is this much. So that's how long you might need your Land Rover for, and maybe at the other end, like that. So you have all this space in the middle, which is comfort space. And I think it's important to think about how you're going to spend 90% of your time. And that's it, you know, it's the boring, bare bones, simple fact of the story is, whether, you know, you listen to people that are complaining about squeaky floors, or this furniture's good, or that furniture's good, or not so good, or this boat twists, or so on. What you have to remember, out of your 10 years or 5 years, however long that period it is, it's only this amount of time that you're going to be doing the hardcore stuff. That's it. The rest of it is the pleasure stuff. It's going from bay to bay, island to island, marina to marina, however your sailing is going to be. So you choose your boat on that. I get seasick, I want a deeper hull boat if I can, or if it's a deck saloon, a wider, more stable deck saloon. So that's the choices that go in my head, and I want to adventurize. So if I am buying an aluminium boat, okay, Garcia, fantastic. Allure, great. You know, there's still some, they'll disagree with me, but there is some twist because of the fiberglass. But knowing that I'm going to spend, there might be a year out of 10 years max, and if you condense that down into time, maybe 4 or 5 months that are going to be cold, 6 months out of that 10-year period, with the insulation and bumping into ice and so on. I'll get straight to the point. It's quite often, when I'm really, really lucky, I get to meet you guys, our subscribers, and you know, when we get a chance to sort of sit down and have a conversation, it's really, really awesome. So I just want to say thank you while I'm here to everybody who subscribes to our channel and takes the time to watch our videos and comment. We do appreciate it. I do work hard at getting to all your comments and answering as many as I possibly can. It doesn't always happen. Sometimes my replies are short. Sorry about that, but, you know, also quite busy. Anyway, The rest of it, we're going to be in warmer climates, warmer seas. So I want a more open boat. So would I say an Allure 51.9, or if I have the budget, a new Alubat 490, something that's built to do the same thing. It's solid aluminium, doesn't have any GRP, and it has a huge open cockpit and sun area instead of all being closed in and tightened in. So it's this sort of stuff. Don't just always think about the hardcore adventure you're going to have. Try and think about that big bit in between, because I think that's really, really important on your choice of boat. I'm going to shut up now because my phone's ringing. That's it. I know on my tours I focus on furniture and galley setup and so on, but I find it important because you're going to live on this boat. There's a lot of people that will go more on draft, and it's really important. The draft, the weight of your boat, the way it sails and handles and so on, that's important, but it's for a small period of time. You have to remember that. It's for a small period of time. You're going to live on this boat, you're going to shower on this boat, eat on this boat, entertain on this boat, explore the world on this boat. So try and, it is easy for me to say, but try and think on that. We got some new stuff. While I'm here, you're probably really, really bored. We got some new stuff coming up. I don't know if you remember that iRose 48. I will leave a link for that. I think it will be up in this corner. I'll leave a link for that and board aboard. We're actually going to go up and see them in April. We're supposed to be going to the Palma Boat Show. We're actually going to go and see these guys because they have a new 45. At the same time, we're going to pop in and see our friends Thibaut at BRB Racing and also have a chat with Philippe at Meta. And there's a reason for all of this and putting these businesses together. Yeah,